Hola a todos, ¿cómo están? Bienvenido a nuestro show. ¿Cómo están todos? Soy abogada Farkazi. Estoy aquí otra vez para hablar con ustedes, contestar sus preguntas y dudas acerca de inmigración. Si tiene alguna pregunta y necesita hablar directamente con nuestra oficina, llámanos a 630-504-0648. Estamos aquí cada día específico para usted, el sábado y domingo también. Si usted necesita alguna ayuda, puede mandar un texto a ese número o llámame a 630-504-0648. Yo sé que nuestra línea está muy ocupada, o si usted quiere una llamada o necesita que dejar un mensaje, por favor, nosotros podemos regresar su llamada inmediatamente o puede mandar un texto también a ese número. Hello, everyone, and how are you? Hello, Juanito, ¿cómo está? I am Attorney Farkazi. I'm an immigration lawyer. I'm based in Chicago, but I have offices all over the country. As we know, immigration law is federal law, which means that I can practice anywhere in this country, which is one of the things that I absolutely love about it. We are here as usual every single day at 12 o'clock talking about all things immigration. You would think that there would be not enough to talk about, and yet here I am talking about it every single day because there is that much to discuss. And there are so many questions. And I know that right now people are really scared and really worried and concerned about the climate that we're in. And so one of the motives and one of the purposes of this show is to allay some of those fears, but then to give you real strategies and solutions. I am a very solution driven person. I want to see a problem. I want to assess a problem, but then I also want a solution to that problem. And I don't believe in fear mongering and chaos and creating more confusion and chaos. No matter how bad the situation is, there's almost always a solution to it. And so I will work with you to find that solution. Hola, ¿cómo está, Sergio? ¿Cómo está? State Ref says, can they deport you if you have deferred protection CAT or re-detain you? Okay. I think I may have talked to you about this other day as well, but deferred action, by its definition, is intended to protect you from deportation. Does it protect you from being detained? Not necessarily, only because ICE has their own kind of agency and their own ways of dealing with things. And so they may question you or may attempt to detain you, for example, but you should always have proof of your deferred action with you. And you should have proof that you have been here for more than 2 years, because right now that 2 year rule is essentially what is allowing them to do expedited removals, which means to have people deported quickly. So if you do have CAT or if you do have deferred action, one of the ways that you could avoid deportation is to keep all of your paperwork together, but also immediately contact an attorney so that we can fight for you in court in a bond hearing and allow the judge to understand that because you have a deferred action, that is protection from deportation. So you should not be deported. State rep, should I get an attorney because I have to go visit my ICE officer? That, generally speaking, you could ask an attorney to accompany you to an ICE check-in. A lot of times attorneys don't do that, but you can certainly ask to have somebody go in for a check-in if you are worried about that. Another thing that you could potentially do is actually have your attorney petition to have those ICE check-ins be done via phone, if that's at all possible. And before, not necessarily under this administration, but before, I have been able to do that for my clients as well. Does immigration law look at a charge the same way as a conviction? So that's a really good question. A conviction is a conviction. A conviction means that, you went through the court process and you were actually not only just charged, but you were convicted of the crime that you were accused of happening. A charge can just be that you haven't yet gone through the process, or that the charges were dropped, or they didn't go through the actual court proceeding or the actual process that needs to be done in order for you to get a conviction. For immigration purposes, every single sort of fallacy or that is in your history needs to be revealed in an immigration application. And if you have either a charge or a conviction, please do not submit your paperwork alone or with a notario, use an attorney who is well versed in criminal immigration and can help you to assess and then to explain whatever those charges or convictions are. Generally speaking, a charge, of course, is lesser than a conviction, and depending on what that charge is it might be as serious, but there are some charges that are still considered quite serious immigration purposes. So I always recommend that you use the services of an attorney to help you out. Do you know anything about parole in place for other situations, not military parole? Tell me what you're referring to. So military in place, of course, yes, I things like you know about that. Parole in place for other things, like there's humanitarian parole, there's well, there was supposed to be a program in place for spouses of U.S. citizens under Biden's new law, but that was overturned. So tell me exactly what you're referring to. Caesar, how long after my biometrics do I get a work permit? AO process? I don't know. Sometimes it can be 2, sometimes it can be 3 months, sometimes it can be 5 months. I mean, honestly, it really depends. But if you feel like you're being an inordinate amount of time, you can absolutely call USCIS and all check in on the status of that online or via a letter specifically to immigration. Okay, they are saying IRS to work with ICE. Do you still recommend doing taxes? I don't know who they are, and I've not heard that. I have no verification of that. All day long, I'm in meetings with other attorneys and with other departments and with government departments, and as well as going to court and talking to judges and all. And usually I pay attention to that evidence and that conversation more than somebody just saying, hey, this or that. Also, I would caution you to be careful about what I know that we're on social media now, but I would caution you not to listen to a lot of the fear mongering that is on social media, because it really doesn't serve the purpose that you need in order for you to be able to triumph in this time. And so if you are concerned if the IRS is working with ICE, I say one way or another that no, absolutely they're not, or yes, absolutely they are working. I have not heard that they are working with ICE. My gut tells me that they still want to get paid and they want you to pay their taxes, pay the tax. So they probably will not make that more cumbersome for you to do. If you are using an ITIN, for example, and you are hesitant of taxes, I would contact your attorney so they review your situation and give appropriate advice. But we would never advise to pay your taxes. Of course, you should be paying your taxes, and you should also be adhering to whatever the rules are within our country regarding salary and payment and pay stubs and all that fun stuff. Louise is waiting for 30 months for I-485 for USC as what normal. I believe right now they said that the process is about 37 months. So I think probably normal. Don't quote me on that. I'd have to double, but I think that's what I checked recently. Let's see. Hola, ¿cómo están? Las personas que están aquí quieren hablar en español, por favor, déjame un brillo ahorita. Yo puedo hablar con usted mente. Y si usted necesita información, puede hablar usualmente. Las preguntas que están en inglés, pero también preguntas que están en Facebook están en español. So podría hablar en los dos. Let's see. Is the I-31 form number? I can't reach. I'm so sorry. Let's see. I'm married to him and filed last year. Still have back from USCIS. Should I know? That's usually pretty normal. But by her back, does that mean that you didn't get a receipt? Because if you didn't get a receipt notice, then you should absolutely find out what's going on, because you should get a receipt within 2 months, maybe 3 months after you've submitted. Do you ever fix my legal status here? Yes. Give me a call and let's talk about it. My answer is to those type of questions. I don't believe I don't believe in the impossible. I don't know. I will exhaust every option. I will let you know if there's something that we absolutely do. But generally speaking, I start with it. Okay. I was advised to a country where Trump is not president and could advise. Let me know what country that is, and where. Let's see. The IRS and ICE working together was in the news. Yes, I am aware that it was in the news. And the news thing is that I have not seen any converts of anything happening with clients being picked up because of that. Elizabeth, how does an expedite request work an upon an I-130 relative petition? The petition's very to expedite an I-130 relative, but you could do it based on humanitarian reasons, family emergency or medical emergency, or death, or long-term, like an illness of some sort. But if you're worried about that, of course, contact your attorney to see if you qualify. There's no harm in really asking for an expedite request, so I don't see any concern in that. But just understand that they're not always granted. Let's see. After a 601A approval, how long does it take for a consular appointment from the country? That is the million-dollar question, right? Because right now, first of all, it depends on what consulate you're talking about. But second, it really varies. For example, we just had a 601A approval, and we've been waiting about 1 year to get that appointment for the consulate, and we have not heard back yet. But then sometimes people only wait a few months. So kind of hard for me to tell you, but if it's for Ciudad Juarez, for example, that does take a little bit longer. Okay, Ivan, for green card renewal purposes, does disturbing the peace conviction affect that? Well, remember that for green card applications and for citizenship applications, they look at the last 5 years. So if this has happened in the last 5 years, then we'll address it and we'll talk about it. I wish you were in California. I do too, but do remember that I will be coming to California. Stay tuned for that notice. I will be coming to Southern California, to Irvine specifically. I don't think we finalized the dates, but we are opening it up pretty soon for consults in in April. So stay tuned for that if you would like to meet with me personally. But of course, you can also do a video call. Okay. Is it a requirement to have my husband's last name on my driver's license when filing for a green card? No, not necessarily, but you do have to establish a relationship with him if your green card is based on marriage. Okay. So the topic of this conversation was, do you want a work permit? And a lot of people are always asking me about work permits and how to get them. So that's why I wanted to talk to you about this. I'm going to switch over to Spanish really quickly. So el tópico de esta conversación es, ¿quiere su permiso de trabajo? Porque todas las personas quieren algún papel, algún permiso, y específico un permiso de trabajo para trabajar aquí legalmente y para pagar sus impuestos y para ganar más dinero. Y la respuesta de eso es sí, usted puede recibir su permiso de trabajo cuando usted califica por otras soluciones inmigrantes. No hay alguna manera en que solamente puede pedir para solamente un permiso de trabajo. Necesita calificar por otras soluciones inmigrantes también. Con eso, nosotros tenemos que conseguir siempre para un permiso de trabajo también para mis clientes, porque yo sé que es tan importante para ustedes para apoyar su familia, ¿sí? Y para ganar su independencia también. So, por esa razón, usted puede recibir su permiso de trabajo debajo de VAWA, debajo de la visa T, debajo de la visa U, debajo de 245, asilo. Hay muchas opciones para usted para recibir su permiso de trabajo. Usualmente el proceso no tarda mucho tiempo también. So, si usted quiere eso o quiere algún papel, llámanos ahorita a 630-504-0648. No necesita que esperar para eso, ¿ok? Ined, ¿cómo está, Ined? Yo pienso que usted regresa otra vez, ¿sí? Tengo corte en Texas, puede cambiarle a Puerto Rico. Sí, hay una manera, usted puede pedir una moción directamente al corte para cambiar por otro lugar, pero necesita alguna evidencia que usted se vive allí o por qué usted necesita que mudar o cambiar a Puerto Rico, por ejemplo, ¿ok? Si necesita alguna información de eso o si usted tiene corte más adelante o algo cosa, usted necesita que hacer tramita petición más rápidamente, si de alguna manera. También para un permiso de trabajo, otra vez, porque yo tengo una pregunta aquí, ¿qué significa un permiso de trabajo? Permiso de trabajo es solamente para trabajar aquí legalmente, pero no es para su viajes, ¿ok? Si usted quiere salir al país y necesita regresar al país, usted necesita otro tipo de permiso. Este es un permiso de viaje específico para viajar. Permiso de trabajo es, como la palabra se dice, es un permiso solamente para trabajar aquí legalmente. All right, Afua, my friend has a waiver in 1994. Is she safe with her green card? What type of waiver does she have? What is it for? And how long has she had her green card? So I need those questions answered before I can answer specific questions about whether she's safe or not. Generally speaking, though, people that would have a green card are safe from deportation or from, additional problems. And let's see, I have Deepsahi here. Hello, hello. I have, oh gosh, okay, she's had her green card for 40 years. I think she should be good. However, I do have a question that she has a green card for 40 years. Why isn't she trying to become a citizen? Because honestly, it's one of the things that I talk about quite a bit, and you'll probably hear it quite a bit in these lives especially, is, but if you have a green card, don't delay. Just try to get that citizenship and then leave some of that stress behind. You can then travel as freely as you want. You don't have to worry about being questioned at the border. You don't have to worry about a lot of things. Remember, a green card applicant can still get their green card taken away for gross violations, for fraud, for misrepresentation, for criminal acts. And also, you have that limit that you're not supposed to go out of the country for more than 6 months at a time. There's a couple of other limitations that are placed on it, including renewals that you have to do. But with citizenship, you don't have to do any of those things. So I would absolutely take a look at all of that as well and see if maybe she would like to become a citizen, which I would strongly encourage. All right. Should I request for a pardon of a misdemeanor conviction before renewing my green card? Depends on how long ago it was. Remember that they look at the last 5 years. There is no particular pardon that you would get necessarily unless it's a conviction that I'm not aware of. But there are ways for us to clarify that in order for you to still get your green card. Okay. Tashwa. Hello, hello. Hola Miguel, ¿cómo está? Muchísimas gracias. So, otra vez, si usted está casado, separado o divorciado en estos 2 años con un ciudadano residente o sufre algunos maltratos en la parte de su hijo mayor de 21 años, usted se podría calificar por VAWA y también nosotros pudimos que conseguir su permiso de trabajo inmediatamente con su aplicación. Si usted sufre algunos maltratos en la frontera con los coyotes, maltratos en su trabajo, maltratos en su relación romántica con alguna persona o con un miembro de su familia también, hay una posibilidad de calificar de la visa T y con la visa T también usted puede recibir su permiso de trabajo. La otra manera es debajo de la visa U si ha sido víctima de algún crimen o con asilo también. So, hay muchas opciones para ustedes. Okay. Tashwati, hello. So I would like to know when you have your work for me, how long it's take for immigration to reply. When you have your work for me, you mean when we send out the application, how long does it take for immigration to reply? Generally speaking, a receipt notice, you'll get a receipt notice that says that they have it and that's in the process within 1 to 3 months potentially. And then after that, you'll get your biometrics appointment. After the biometrics appointment, you'll get your work permit. After the work permit, you'll get your final approval or they'll ask for additional evidence. Okay. Hola Marilu, ¿cómo está? ¿Cómo está? Hola abogada, ¿cuánto tarda la aprobación de la visa T? Ahorita es muy difícil de decir con cierto en realidad porque nosotros tenemos un nuevo presidente y nueva administración, pero en general usualmente el proceso para todo hasta el fin para la aprobación de la visa T, a veces, por ejemplo, ayer nosotros recibimos la aprobación después de 14 meses. Pero el otro día recibimos una aprobación después de 18 meses. A veces se toma 15 meses. So, más o menos 1 año y medio o 2 años para la aprobación de la visa T. Pero recuerde que ese es un estimado porque ahorita nosotros tenemos otro presidente, otra administración y es posible que se tome más tiempo, sí, por todo. ¿Ok? ¿Tiene otra pregunta? ¿Alguna persona tiene duda? ¿Tiene alguna pregunta? ¿Cómo podría ayudarle en alguna manera? Hablamos otra vez si usted quiere más información. Nosotros hablamos cada día, pero si usted necesita más información, llámame a 630-504-0648. Estamos aquí específico para ustedes, sí, y dedicados a los resultados y para cambiar las vidas de todos mis clientes. So if you need anything else, obviously give us a call. And we will talk again. Remember that you can always call our office for a free case evaluation. You can also book a consult directly with me, and we are available. You know, we're booking it fast, and a lot of times we're kind of booked out like at least 3 weeks ahead of time. But we will do our very best to fit you in and to put you into our calendar because it's so tremendously important for us, especially in this time, for us to be able to talk one on one and to come up with some solutions for you and some options available for you. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much, and we will see you again. Bye.